we are getting our first look today at the father charged after his 8-year-old son was shot in the head.
27-year-old Kayvon Barrett faces 4 counts of second-degree child neglect after police say the child found an unsecured handgun and pulled the trigger. Priya Mann is live on this story. Priya, any update on how that little boy is doing tonight?
Well, Kim, police tell us that that little boy remains in the hospital in critical condition and that he has a long road to recovery ahead. Meanwhile, his father appeared before a judge here at 36th District Court to be arraigned on this senseless shooting.
People versus Kayvon Barrett counsel.
Detroit father is facing 4 counts of second-degree child abuse. Police say Kayvon Barrett's son found an unsecured weapon in their home and shot himself in the head.
The reason that happened, Roger, is because the defendant who owned 4 guns found several live shells on a bookshelf. He had another gun also before this, and he gave it to his brother, who also lives in the house.
Police say there were 4 adults and 4 children under the age of 8 inside the home when the child found the unsecured gun earlier this week.
There's an allegation in the investigator's report that calls to 911 were delayed by 10 minutes as the child lay bleeding from his head on the floor because the adults around were more concerned with their own problems.
The 8-year-old boy was rushed to the hospital and his 27-year-old father was arrested.
Doesn't have prior criminal convictions, but what the investigator's report does list is a CPS history, and all I can think is these 4 kids as I read it.
In 2 visits dating back to 2018, Child Protective Services detailed findings of physical neglect and abuse. The judge set Barrett's bond at $100,000 cash.
There are sustained charges of neglect prior. We now have a charge involving, you're right, at least a level of neglect that's now led to a child being, having a gunshot wound to the head, from which we all, hope and pray he will survive.
Now, if Barrett is able to pose that $100,000 cash bond, he must wear a GPS tether and he can't live with any minor children. He'll be back in court at the end of the month. Reporting live from 36th District, I'm Priya Mann.